Welcome to OLOGY. I am Nuke. In this episode, we delve into the intricate world of the Electron Transport Chain. Known as the ETC, get ready to understand the machinery responsible for generating energy that fuels our cells. Let's begin. But before we dive deeper into the Electron Transport Chain, let's take a look at where this crucial process takes place. The Electron Transport Chain occurs within the mitochondria, often referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. These double membrane structures provide the perfect environment for the ETC to take place. In particular, the inner mitochondrial membrane is where the majority of the electron transport chain proteins and complexes reside. This tightly folded membrane provides an extensive surface area for the reactions to occur. The electron transport chain is a collection of membrane-embedded proteins and organic molecules, most of them organized into 4 large complexes labeled 1 to 4. In eukaryotes, many copies of these molecules are found in the inner mitochondrial membrane. In prokaryotes, the electron transport chain components are found in the plasma membrane. As our journey begins, electrons start their thrilling voyage through a series of protein complexes that make up the electron transport chain. But where do these electrons actually come from? Excellent question. These electrons are initially donated by molecules such as NADH and FADH2, derived from other metabolic reactions happening in our body. Now, let's dive deeper into the electron movement within the electron transport chain. Electrons donated by a substrate such as NADH or FADH2 enter the chain at complex 1 or 2, respectively. From there, the electrons are shuttled through a series of protein complexes, while also actively pumping protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. To facilitate the electron movement, several integral membrane proteins within the ETC serve as electron carriers. One such proteins are ubiquinone or coenzyme Q, which shuttles electrons between complexes 1, 2, and 3, and cytochrome C shuttles electrons between complexes 3 and 4. Key components of ETC are complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, 2 carrier proteins, coenzyme Q and cytochrome C, electrons, hydrogen ions, and molecular oxygen. Complex 1. NADH dehydrogenase, also known as complex 1, is the first protein complex in the electron transport chain. It is responsible for accepting electrons from NADH, a molecule that carries high-energy electrons, and passing them to the next complex. It is leading to the transfer of protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. Here, 2 electrons are carried out to the first complex aboard NADH. 2. Complex 2. Succinate dehydrogenase, or complex 2, is an essential protein in the electron transport chain. It accepts electrons from another molecule called succinate, which is derived from the citric acid cycle. FADH2 that is not passed through complex 1 is received directly from complex 2. The electrons from succinate are then passed on to ubiquinone. Ubiquinone, a small molecule also known as coenzyme Q ubiquinone, serves as an electron carrier, shuttling electrons from complex 1 and complex 2 to complex 3. 3. Complex 3. Complex 3, or cytochrome BC1 complex, receives electrons from ubiquinone. It transfers the electrons to cytochrome C while pumping protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. Cytochrome C, a protein that resides in the inner membrane space of the mitochondria. It acts as another electron carrier, shuttling electrons from complex 3 to complex 4. 4. Finally, complex 4, known as cytochrome C oxidase, receives electrons from cytochrome C. It facilitates the transfer of these electrons to molecular oxygen, reducing it to water. Simultaneously, complex 4 also pumps protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. Throughout this fascinating chain of events, the transfer of electrons leads to the pumping of protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. These protons create a gradient that powers ATP synthase, ultimately resulting in the synthesis of ATP-ATP synthase, also known as complex 5. is the final protein complex in the electron transport chain. Proton gradient will cause hydrogen ions to move down and diffuse back into matrix through ATP synthase. This diffusion of protons is called chemiosmosis. This facilitates the addition of a phosphate to ADP, forming ATP, using the potential energy of the hydrogen ion gradient. Together, the electron transport chain and chemiosmosis make up oxidative phosphorylation. In conclusion, the electron transport chain is a fundamental process within cellular respiration that powerfully drives the cellular world. It facilitates ATP production, recycles electron carriers, consumes oxygen, maintains redox balance. Without it, cells would struggle to function. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the intricate world of cellular energy production. Remember, curiosity is the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. Stay tuned for more thrilling adventures in the realm of science. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring,